Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Squid Game Season 1 Episode 3, The Man with the Umbrella, which immediately makes me think of his daughter's stepfather, because he is the man we saw with an umbrella last. Is he secretly behind all of this? I mean, no, that's just me being silly. I am so excited to keep watching this show. I can see why everybody in the entire world, it seemed, got hooked on it. I'm stressed about watching it, but it's so messed up, and I feel so awfully for all of these characters that they're in a position where they would ever consent, as I talked a lot last time about my opinion on whether or not that was actually consent, to go through this whole process, and I'm just, what on earth do the twisted souls behind this have in mind next? Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. You get that 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go. You're so obvious following the only other car on this road, quite close behind as well. I mean, I don't know how else he's supposed to do it without, you know, somehow turning his car invisible or getting a tracker ahead and oof. Ooh, are they going to end up on a ferry? Oh, this nice man's going to die trying to find his brother. He is brave, but he's also kind of foolish. Then someone does need to figure out what's happening here.
Okay.
Begin. Oh, are they seeing who's come back? Also, if people didn't want to come back, did they manage to did they just let them go? With the twisted everything they've been through. Is he gonna get in and pretend he's unconscious and like they've picked up a new dude? Or hide? Because you need to act fast. Holy shit. Won't they be confused when he's not? Oh, they put tracking chips in them. Oof, they weren't expecting this, it's our only hope. Oh, and if he can dress like that, he can blend in. Not so powerful now, I mean. Though he's so not going to know what to do, what the routines are, you know, like, he will 100%. Like, what caused that guy to do this? How did he end up here in his life? He needs to learn the rules and fast. But what caused that man to end up doing this? I do love that we're getting to see this rather than just seeing him be unconscious and just wake up magically in the dawns. It's so messed up. Just, ugh. So messed up. People wanting to make game versions of this or whatever would be exactly the same as people making a game version of the Hunger Games, and like, it's just messed up and we don't do it. We're back. No, you're just gonna get tortured. I mean, you're either in on it, or you're just gonna get tortured in this weird... It's a lot of them. Fuck, most of them did. I have a lot of respect for the other 14. I understand why, or 13, I can't remember if it was 201 or 200. I know, like, how desperate they were, but to not give in to the temptation for easy money, I don't blame these people, but I am proud of the ones that didn't come back. No.
우리끼리 한번 뭉쳐서 해보는 건 어때? 맞아. 앞으로 무슨 게임을 하게 될지도 모르고 여러 가지 경우를 대비해서 그룹을 형성하는 게 유리할 거야. 아, 그쪽도 같이 합시다. 아, 힘이 장난이 아니더라고. 너도 봤지?
He's probably like, yeah, but you nearly died. I don't know if I want you on my team.
정말
나도
같이 해요?
끼워주겠나? 아, 그럼요. 영감님이 군대
This isn't a game to play pretend. This is not the place to want to be with an enemy because you could take each other out. You need a team. That's a good answer. Oof. What's her plan? Is he gonna kill them if they look like they're gonna speak out, or try and bring them back in if they get desperate again? It crushes me that there are this many people who are so desperate as to come back, but it doesn't surprise me with the world we live in. Sort of trying to act like everything's fine and we're on a fun camp together, and it's just not. It's not like you're all about to die. For girls. Oh, my favourite character is so going to die, isn't he? He's just so sweet. I mean, I actually quite like most of these players as long as they're not secretly evil. And I have just latched onto my theory that the old man is working with them. I don't really mean it. Oh, fuck. They're prisoners with the keys, aren't they? Like, why? Something I do hope we find out this season, or potentially next season if there's a season 2. I mean, there is a season 2. I just don't know what it's going to be about. I really do hope, oh, that person's suspicious, we find out whether this season or next season how these people came to be here. Because they're prisoners. This is a prison cell. Or a very cheap student dorm. Give me a square. She is good at surviving. But they need these people to cooperate, so they should let them go to the loo whenever. They'll get suspicious if you never take it off. Do they look that closely at these people? Oh. Jesus. Though again, you think that as much as like they need these people, they do need these people for their games. You think they'd give them plenty of smoke breaks and stuff. I wouldn't put it past these people to have cameras in the bathroom. Like, they clearly don't. But really, I guess she's checked if they had cameras before she went into this hit. Because, you know, they don't exactly care about other human rights. I doubt they'd be above having cameras in the loo. I'm very stressed because there are several characters I definitely would like to survive, and this does not seem like the kind of show where that can happen. She definitely is good at playing up the, like, I'm a loud, helpless woman. Oh, is this for the next game? She is good at buying time. I don't think they care about that. But she's, again, these people have all learned how to survive in desperate situations, and that's why they're here, and it stresses me out. It's also sort of childlike, like it is like a weird school thing. They're making caramel? They're gonna burn people with it? I don't know. I'm just so stressed because he's good, he's smart, but he's so gonna give himself away with not knowing things. Like, he's already made someone suspicious because he couldn't unlock the door properly. This isn't a summer camp. They're going to murder as many of you as they can. For some sick and twisted reason. He's just so used to so unused to kindnesses. He'd be so thirsty. Is it like a figure out who got the note in his bun or something? I'm stressed. And like, are you ready to watch a mass murder if it's anything like the first game without reacting? Or participate in it? Oh, fucking hell. Has he got someone helping him? Is that it? Someone telling him what to do? Is he just out for himself? He wants to disengage himself from the team?
투자에도 그런 말이 있어. 계란을 한 발.
Don't listen to him with investments!
그때부터 유명한 우리 동네 신동이었어요.
And now he's here.
그래서 서장도
He's just too trusting and believing in the good in people.
저런 멀쩡한 우산 들고 다니는데 소원이
Is the umbrella the bad thing? I'm so stressed. This is horrific. Just how many people in... Moment of truth, are you gonna warn him?
아니야.
Why is the umbrella the worst thing to pick? I feel sick. Who is he working with?
좋겠다.
I wish I knew what this game was, but it doesn't seem good and you could have helped him. Because you knew what it was. It's not like if he wins, you lose. Eating it will just make you thirsty, won't it? Or do you have to eat it? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Glad he was at the top of the slide. I thought someone would have broken theirs when they freaked out. Fucking hell. Why did you come back here? No situation you were in is worth this. I understand how from the outside it seemed like it, especially when the offer was so grand. How have they not noticed that? How many are going to be left out of this one? God, what's the next thing going to be? Everyone vote to leave again? Or was that only applicable once? I wonder if they'll be suspicious that the smart guy picked the easiest shape. That, please, hold it there, hold it there. He didn't, did he? There's a little crack in it. Has he killed anyone? I doubt he has.
29번.
Oh fuck.
했는지 그때 들어보지.
Fuck. You can't keep mucking up like this. Who is this guy and what? Is he the only person that has allies on the inside? Is he like working for the people as like an insider to make sure things go the way they need them to? How does he feel? Knowing that he could have just said, let's all pick the triangle. Oh. Is the sweat gonna make it worse? He's smart. Okay. How is she getting away with this? Or do they kind of not mind because she's using her ingenuity? Surely someone else would have seen what he was doing and be copying. Even if it looks a little strange, it's logical and it's working. Okay. Is it time to start cutting? Yep. You need to break it. Oh, he's brave. Oh. Oh. Holy shit! They don't care. Why did you come back? Holy shit. Did the old man make it? They'll kill him. I want to know too. You went out with a semblance of control, but you must never take your mask off, so that guy's dead, right?
명심해.
뭘 착각했는지 그때 들어보지.
He got lucky. Oh, this episode. This show is so well done. It just breaks my heart for all of these characters that there are people that would be so desperate as to put themselves through this intentionally. And I feel like the second that game started and the bodies started flying, every single one of them once again would have thought, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. And then they'll get back to the room, they'll see the money, and they'll think, oh, but maybe the next one will be something that'll be suited to me and I'll make it through super easily rather than just struggling through this one. Sung-woo, the fact that he's not playing for his team. You know, he could have so easily said, oh, those are the shapes that are in the game that you cut shapes out of hard biscuit without cracking them. We should all pick a triangle because it's just 3 sides to work on, you know, not a circle, you have to get around the whole way, not an umbrella or a star where there are lots of sides. And, you know, a friend that believed in him or whatever, and he still just threw him under the bus. Now, why? Is it because he thinks ultimately there'll only be one winner or something, and so if you can eliminate them along the way, it wouldn't be like... Does he think it's going to be like a battle royale at the end, everyone kill each other? I mean, if it could be. I don't know what kind of game that would be, maybe tag? I don't know. It's just, this is so well done. It's such a chilling and sinister idea, but what makes these sort of shows extra compelling is you could believe that some uber rich sadistic people would do something like this. I do hope eventually we figure out what the motivation behind the Squid Game is, and I feel like we will, at least a little bit. Maybe even in future seasons. I know there's definitely going to be a season 2. Again, I don't know how many of these characters will be alive in season 2, unless we don't finish this 6 games. But just, oh, it breaks my heart. And it's just so twisted, taking something as simple and innocent as a children's game and twisting it, and doing it even in a place that didn't need to look like an elaborate playground. It could have just been an empty room, like the red light, green light place. I know down the end it wasn't empty, but it just kills you. And, you know, seeing someone like Ji-hyun, who is so optimistic in a way, he's very naive. I feel like in a lot of ways he never really grew up. Obviously, I mean, obviously he grew up, but I mean, like, there are some people who kind of, they still have that mindset of being the child who doesn't quite accept responsibility for things, and that's probably why a lot of things went wrong in his life. Now, that also clearly shows you that corporal punishment does not work, because he was apparently spanked a lot and it did nothing. He's just the same as he ever was. So don't hit your kids, folks. I know different cultures are different, but just don't do it. So it's so hard to see, because he's such a person that I think that nature will have allowed him to be taken advantage of by bookies and by people that will say, oh, this is a sure thing, just give me all your money here and then I'll make you loads more. And then before you know it, he's lost all his money. If there are clear-cut girl games and boy games, and you would never play the girl games, then I feel like maybe they should get a girl on their team who can tell them, oh, this is how you do this game. But I just, genuinely, my brain is just like, after every one of these episodes, the policeman whose name I don't quite remember, I don't think this is going to end well for him. I think he may well uncover a lot of information. Maybe he'll write it on his phone and that phone will be in existence to be found potentially, but I can't see him getting out of this alive unless he's sent out on another run and he could just run away because he doesn't have a tracking chip like the rest of them do. The fact that they have a tracking chip definitely leads me to think... It's raining outside. Definitely leads me to think that the people who didn't come back aren't necessarily going to be left to carry on with their lives. I almost feel like they're either going to be killed, like make it look like an accident or a suicide or something and killed, or in one of the games they'll be used in some sadistic way. I don't see it being like these people are going to just let them go back to their lives. They'd be too scared that ultimately they do what Ji-hyun did and report it. That also tells you that they know he went to the police station, so surely they must know there's a possibility that there is a policeman around looking into it, and then they must know that one of their people that died in the first round had a brother who was a police officer, because they know everything about these people, so they must surely have an inkling that he stopped showing up for work, but then he could just be looking for his brother on the mainland. It's stressful. What on earth are the next games going to be? think it's so interesting in general, as with every kind of country and every kind of culture, how similar things are and how different things are. Like this game that they played meant nothing, you know, they didn't even have an English translation for it because it's just not a thing in England. Whereas Red Light, Green Light, they could give a name because that is a thing that kids can play versions of. Just taking something that is innocent, both memories of your innocent childhood and twisting them, and then if you have kids, those twisted kids. The two female characters, whose names I don't know, the pickpocket girl and the loud woman, they are both survivors, and I think every single person in this room is a survivor. That's part of why they're here, in a weird way, because they believe they can get through any impossible situation. But these are all people that need help with gambling addictions or drug addictions or whatever it is that got them into losing loads of money. They need some psychological help with like self-worth, no, but with also just coping with everything that's going on. They don't need this. But I do think it's really interesting the way she acts the loud woman, you know, like she acts the kind of airhead-ish, like, I'm just going to scream and shout and loud, but underneath it all, she is thinking and thinking and thinking, and she's assessing everything. She's a lot smarter than her impression would give on, and that is very much often a coping mechanism. And, so, right now, the players I really want to survive are the pickpocket, because I want her to get back to her brother, even if they never manage to save their parents. I just want her brother to get to have his sister and her to get to have him, and for her to get to live a life, a real one, given how much her family gave up for her to get here. Then I want Jihan to survive, obviously, because while I do think he's definitely made some poor life choices and maybe needs to take a little bit more responsibility for that and a bit more agency to stop, I do understand that gambling is a problem. He definitely had a traumatic experience when his co-worker died and he watched it happen, and I just feel like he deserves a chance to live a life that is not burdened by these things, and he's a good person at his core. I want player 199, I don't know his name, to survive, because he genuinely just seems like no one has ever done him a kindness ever in his life. I'm not entirely sure where he's from, like what his country is, but he clearly didn't have a very good life there. He came to Korea, South Korea, hoping for a better life, was just used and taken advantage of. He has a wife or a girlfriend and a little baby, and he's so sweet. He saved somebody else's life. In the middle of that red light, green light thing, he saved someone else's life. Anytime someone shows him kindness, he acts like he's never experienced that before. He's my favourite character at the moment, just because he's so sweet. I mean, yes, he did accidentally shove someone's hand into like a mangler thing, but the guy was a dick. I hope he survives. I don't think he will. If the old man is a genuine old man, not my crazy theory that, I've picked it now, then I want him to survive too, for however long he has left. But realistically, I don't know. Then there's also that horrible part of me that's like, well, if any of them have to die, at least he's dying anyway. That's not how it works. And I do want Sungwoo to survive, largely at the moment for his mother. I just think if her son vanishes and is never seen again, that will hurt her even more than if he ends up in prison and serves his time in the long run. And, you know, up until he left his friends in the dirt, I kind of liked him. Because there was no reason he couldn't have said we should all do the triangle. There's none at all. They're not allowed to work in teams. There's not, you know, he knew what that game was. And it's not even like he said to them, well, I think it could be this game, but I might be wrong, so maybe we should split up. But he instantly took the easiest shape. If he does keep doing things like that, I hope they wise up to it and kick him out of the team. Because right now, there is nothing to be gained from getting other people killed. And I don't hate him. I just currently I'm disappointed in him. Because you could see he was struggling with that. He kind of wanted to say, oh, Jihan, come to the triangle, or don't do the umbrella, that's the hardest one. And like, Jihan doesn't have the book smarts. He's not like academically smart, but he's switched on. He can notice things. I think if in the real world he gave himself a bit more credit, took a bit more responsibility, but also just gave himself that bit more, you can do this, he would be doing a lot better with his life and being a lot happier. I feel like I'm all over the place with this review. I really don't know 100% where the show is going. I mean, I do. We're going through the games and eliminating people left bit by bit. But yeah, so those are the characters I do want to survive. I want our team and the two women to survive. I do want the loud woman to survive because I like her. She has a baby that she wants to get to, and I also think, like, as with all of these people, they're beyond desperate. Now, if we look into any of their lives and find out they're secretly serial killers, then I will be like, ah, screw it. And something else I'm very excited to learn more about is the guards, the squares, triangles, and circles. I love that in this episode they've really established that there is a hierarchy within those shapes. But it's kind of like, you know, the circle dude was so young. How did he end up here? And like, even the guy that he threw overboard, that's the thing that I thought when we saw him was he just looked so normal. Now, of course he did. Bad guys don't ever just look wonderful. And they're not exactly staying in nice suites. They look like they are prisoners who hold the keys to their own cells. I am so intrigued to learn more about them. Are they being given a huge payout? Are they being given no other choice? What is happening? Why did some people end up as being offered the opportunity to be the guards and some of them got the opportunity to die? So no, I'm just so excited to keep exploring this show. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. You get that 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you for watching.